Good evening, everyone. I think we're live. So we're missing Nick again this week, and got some a special surprise guest coming in today, probably in a few moments. So tonight, I'm going to be talking about a trip to Atchison, Kansas, and for those of you who don't know how to pronounce it, Dale Kaczmarek. It's at and then Chisen, so Atchison. There's no N in there. So I know that was tripping Dale up during this whole trip. So I'm going to tell you about the adventures of my trip to Kansas. But in the meantime, man, today, I don't know. You have one of those days where just everything seems to go wrong. So, of course, I'm at work and every call just seems to drag or something's not done right. So it's just frustrating. And then other people want other things from you. And then, of course, this show, everyone says, oh, I can't do it now. It's the last minute, which is fine. We do what we do. It's just one thing after another. Just got to smile, keep a positive attitude, and reach out to your friends and see who is available and wants to join me. So I do have a special guest coming up, hopefully. I should knock on wood somewhere. Actually, I got some toothpicks. Maybe I'll take one and knock on each one. Uh, so I'm not caught up. I'm done with watching Walking Dead season 7. So I got to figure out how to get 8, 9, 10, 11 apparently, or however many there is. So I got hooked onto that last month during the rib breakage. Been watching Discovery Plus, been watching Jack Osborne and Katrina Weidman out in Portals of Hell. And it's an interesting show. They did the Savannah Theater, and I know a couple friends of mine are going to Savannah soon, which I'm envious of. So, very envious. If you haven't been to Savannah, that is one place you definitely want to go. Okay, is this thing? I'm just seeing where my live feed is. But Savannah, yeah, that's they did the Savannah Theater. I guess it's the first time that it's been on television, and they had some pretty good stuff going on there. So I wish I could leave any time and go where my heart desires, right? I wish, or I guess that's the case with a lot of everyone. Okay. So I think I got it on here. Just got to see the comments here. Hey, Ron, how's it going? So, it's 7:33. We're waiting on our special guest, Atchison, Kansas. Let me pull up the map of that. Give you an idea of the drive. It was actually a pretty long drive. I was going from Elgin after work to Atchison, driving straight through. Pitch dark. I mean, the darkness kind of like envelopes you in a sense. And with my truck, my headlights weren't the greatest. So it was like visibility was none. So add spookiness to the trip. Let's see. All right. Share screen. least my computer's working better. Okay, why isn't it not up there? That's it. There you go. All right, so this is starting from Elgin. As you can see, you just drive straight through Iowa, down through Missouri, and then you cut over just over the Missouri River into Atchison. Oh, look, there's a severe thunderstorm warning. Which brings me up to a point. What happened to me on the way there? I did run into a storm. So that's pretty wild. And I believe there was a flood a week before me going out there. And there was a bridge that the bridge was flooded, and they had sandbags and everything out there. So that's Atchison. So I'll talk to you about the Sally House, Amelia Earhart Birthplace Museum, the 1889 McIntyre Villa, those 3 spots there, a couple little spots in town, then also Mount Vernon Cemetery, it's going to be another one, and the International Forest of Friendship are some of the places that I visited out there. And then also the on Commercial Street, there is the hardware store. And then there's a backyard, like a antique type store, crafty store, somewhere along here. So they do ghost tours, or every once in a while they do a ghost tour. Now the person that worked at the hardware store had the bed and breakfast that I stayed at. Great people. I said that I was leaving at like after work, and I would get there at like 2:00 in the morning, which is well before the starting time. And she said, "Well, we didn't have any other guests. Come on in early." When I got there, it was just me going out there, and she had like these beautiful muffins ready for me. It was great. Awesome Airbnb. Actually, it was my first ever Airbnb, and it was pretty darn good. So when I was talking to Kelly from the Airbnb place, I mentioned ghost hunting and that I'll have other people coming because we had Dale Kaczmarek coming, we had Bob Davies coming, and then Tim and Amanda were going to come the next day. So I was out there Thursday morning, Friday morning. So Friday during the day, I was able to visit those locations I pointed out to you. And by the time Dale and Bob got there, I gave them a couple surprises, unbeknownst to them. But working with Kelly at the Airbnb, she learned of what we do, and she invited us to visit the upstairs of her hardware store. So I'll get more into that. And then her friend also had a place that they did investigation at, so we were invited there Saturday or Sunday before we left, and then also Saturday during the day, or Friday was it? I don't know. I forget what day now. They had another friend who did the McIntyre Villa, so they invited us over there. So we just planned on going out to Sally House, and we ended up with like 4 other different locations, which was quite cool. And that's how I like the adventures, you know, to go. So they have these nice little side trips and meet new people. And I'm telling you, I had a blast at Atchison. Um, Great place, great people. I mean, I spent a weekend there, so you can't get too much of a feel about a place unless you stay there for a month or two. But um, it was welcoming. It was great. And I'll get to in a couple of reasons why I think there was something going on there too. But all right, so we're gonna bring our special guest on right now. All
I don't
right,
know how I don't know how special I am.
you're very special in my book, Greg. We got Greg Kaz, everyone from the Shadow Hour. Welcome and thank you for joining us at Paranormal Pickers.
Hey,
Uh,
everybody.
Nick, Nick is catering to his house right now because he has a father-in-law that's going to be staying with them, so he wants to make the accommodations comfortable. So he's working his hump off right now. Um, and then Mark, they have a Tuesday night meeting at the Oddfellow Lodge, so he can't make it. So I reached out to Greg and said, "Hey, buddy."
You've been more than willing to help me out in the past, and that's the
Oh,
least
well,
I could do.
I appreciate it. Did you just get done with a show yourself, or
I was setting up for tomorrow night.
I know how that goes. That's a long process. So I didn't get too much into it. I was just kind of giving them an idea of what I'm going to talk about. So, I'll probably turn to you and ask a couple questions, if you experience stuff or have you been at these locations, stuff like that. So kind of be like
Okay.
my Frank to my Mike today, I guess, which is
Okay.
kind of
Okay.
funny. Yeah. Because I actually kind of ironically, I was watching American Pickers last night, season 22, season 22. And Frank, I guess, got hurt in a car accident. So he's not on there, but they have this Jersey John guy that was on there. And then, of course, they had the girl and Mike's brother doing the other van. And then this other Mike guy took over once in a while. And Mike went solo. And I'm like, man, do I got to go solo tonight? I don't want to go solo, man. It's boring. It just feels like I'm talking to myself.
Well, they're here to
Well,
see you.
yeah. Well, you have guests. I normally don't have guests other than Nick or whoever else is on there. So we tell a story, but over the course of stuff, when I run out of adventures to talk about, we'll bring in some other guests too. So as they say, without further ado,
Have
this
at it.
is this is I don't even know what this is anymore. Season 1, episode 12,
Wow.
and I titled it Wonderland, and you'll figure out why in after the show or whatever or during the show. So I got a lot of notes, a lot of adventures, a lot of beginnings, a lot of ends, a lot of in betweens, a lot of just watching. And you're big on the synchronicity, so I think you're a perfect fit for tonight because this was pretty powerful stuff.
Oh,
Uh, so I already talked about the Airbnb. So I was driving out Thursday, the 25th, July 25th of 2019, heading out to Atchison, Kansas. Now, have you ever been to the Sally House or Atchison, Kansas, Greg?
no.
Have you been to Kansas?
Nope. I'm not
Not
even
even,
Dorothy.
not
I'm not
even
even
via,
Dorothy.
not even via through a tornado,
Nope.
a
Not
tornado
even Dorothy.
vortex. No little dogs, Toto either back there. No flying monkeys. That's what
Nope.
it was.
None of that.
You
I
played
think
a
I
flying
think it was,
monkey in school. Yeah.
I think I was afraid of it because of that
Oh yeah.
as a
Yeah,
kid.
that was scary. As a kid, I actually did a play in kindergarten, and I was a munchkin and a flying monkey, and there was three
Wow,
flying monkeys. So there you go. I was a flying monkey at one point.
that's cool.
So so I arrived there in the morning, got my muffin, picked out my bedroom. Now I had Dale Kaczmarek coming, so I have to figure out what room he's going to be in because he's not the smallest of men. He's a pretty big dude, so I'm not going to give him a single twin bed to lay in. So there was one room that had a decent full bed, and then Tim and Amanda were coming the next day, so I saved them the master suite. And then Bob Davies was going to be there. He can't take stairs, so he's got the couch on the first floor. So I'm in the kids' room with two twin beds, and I loved it. It was awesome. So that was the bed and breakfast. So I was there that the day. And so Friday, or actually driving from Elgin at night, so dark, thunderstorms every once in a while. Of course, to keep busy, I call people on the phone. So I was talking to Laura, and I was telling her about this song that played on the radio, and I couldn't figure out. It's one of those songs that sounds like a band but you couldn't figure it out because it didn't normally sound like their typical song. It sounded like a '70s song, actually, kind of like a '70s band. I'm like, why? I should know this song, and I'm pretty good at naming bands and songs, and I just couldn't figure it out. And of course, the DJ didn't announce who it was.
Oh man.
So that was somewhere in Iowa. So I was talking to Laura, and next thing I know, I'm either in Iowa or Missouri at this time. And I just hung up with her, and it started to pour rain, and my hands were swollen, and my feet were hurting this weekend. They were so sore. So what I want to do is share a picture with you of my hands, just to give you an idea of what I had to deal with. Like I couldn't put my hands on the steering wheel, grab it tight. So in the rain, I guess this is a good picture. I don't know, but in the rain, when you have or yeah, when you're driving in the rain, you want to make sure you have a pretty good handle of your
Yeah.
steering wheel. So I don't know if you could see that or not.
What was
So my
going on?
well, I'll get to that. So my hands kind of it blew up, and it's happened before. So it was going on again. So I told Laura about it. So continuing on my drive, I'll get back to the hands later.
Okay.
But continuing on my drive, that song came on again on a different station in Missouri somewhere, and I hear this, and I'm like, man, this song's cool. And I only heard it once before. And then finally, that guy, the DJ, said that's new Volbeat, Last Day Under the Sun. And I'm like, that's okay, Volbeat. I'm familiar with the band. This is a brand new song from them, Last Day Under the Sun. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. So the song is now you get that song in your head where you kind of need to hear it all the time. Like I got to hear it. It's like ear candy. So when I get to the Airbnb, I YouTube the song and I watched the video. Now the video had this like hole in the ground, and people were entering it, and people were coming out of it, and to me it reminded me of Alice in Wonderland, right? So I
Oh,
had this appeal, and then all of a sudden this whole weekend things started falling into Alice in Wonderland, started going down this wormhole. So the bed and breakfast had all these clocks on the wall without hands. They also had pewter rabbits in there
oh, come on.
in the bathroom, and I'm like, what's going on with this? So I'm getting the Alice in Wonderland feel. So so the next day I go to Amelia Earhart Museum. And let's bring up some pictures there. All right, let's see here.
Are you still in Iowa?
Am I what?
You're in Kansas, aren't you?
Yeah, it's in Kansas. So this is Amelia Earhart birthplace,
Holy cow.
and she was born July 24th. Yeah, so about the time we were there, because they were gonna do the yeah, actually that's the time we were there. The 26th, 27th, since she was born July 24th. So they actually have Amelia Earhart days there, and it's normally pretty big, but since this was it was warm, it was too warm and floods or something, and they either canceled it or it didn't happen. Yeah, because it was before COVID. So I stopped at this place because I had time to. And it's kind of like the building. So that's where she stayed. That's me and Amelia.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I met the lady.
Holy cow, Dean. You're a lucky guy.
Yeah. So that's her. And I know it was kind of fun. They had like this backyard thing, a shed or a barn. And she actually, as a kid, she made this like thing that she would go on the roof and slide down. And she was quoted as saying that it felt like she was flying. So ever since
Wow.
she was a kid, she had this notion that she was going to be in the air or a pilot. So I'm not going to get too much into the Amelia Earhart history. So you could tell by my hands getting red here, something's happening. But this is Amelia Earhart's hand, so I kind of put my hand up there. All right, another Amelia Earhart poster. All right, and the reason why I took this picture, this is up in her bedroom, and this is like a little landing here.
Yeah.
I opened up this here. Now this is where I had my first of two deja vu experiences. So this here wasn't a dream. I dreamt this before. Like this landing here goes into the window. This is like another window, but you can't get to it from here. And that's what my dream was. Is there was the same thing landing. I couldn't get to this other thing. So I had my first deja vu experience there. That's why I took those pictures, because there's nothing big about it. It's just that it was important to me.
Oh,
Either
yeah.
deja vu, you've been there before, or you've seen it before, or something. So I don't know what was going on there, but that was one of two deja vu experiences. There's Amelia.
A hottie.
I was waiting for that. All right, so that's for later. Okay. So Amelia, not too much there. I just took the tour. Didn't wasn't ghost hunting or anything by any stretch of imagination. Um, just the fact that it was the deja vu experience there. And there was some other places in Atchison that had uh, haunted stuff. There was Jackson Park. Of course, there was the International Forest of Friendship, which was not haunted. But then there was Atchison Drive, where this I'll bring this video up. So this is before Dale or Bob or anyone even got there. This is me just being me and exploring. So I'm just pulling up is this it? So hopefully you can hear it. This is Atchison Drive. Led to believe that a woman lost control of her buggy and ran down this steep hill down to this river here and got tossed into the frozen water. It's a nice thing. Right, I think I see you out there fishing.
On the
I
other
think
side.
you're on the other side fishing. So that's the
You sure
Missouri
did.
River.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There's an inn that's in Kansas there, and I can't think of the name of it. Greg Bakken was just there.
The
Well,
McIntyre, the
yes,
McIntyre
yes.
Villa. Yeah, that's in
McIntyre,
Atchison. Yeah, that's in
McIntyre.
Atchison. So,
That would be worth going to.
we've been there.
You've been there?
Yeah,
Holy crap. That's pretty cool.
yeah. So, and I'll get back to the McIntyre Mansion or Villa in a second here.
Okay.
But one of the things that I do is I take pictures of trees and well, nature in general, and they do like spirit animals in tree or spirits in trees, and just you kind of get the pareidolia feel of it. You know, then some people say it's not pareidolia. Some people say it's a spirit telling you, making you see these things. So, and I take pictures and I send it over to Crystal Light in Crystal Lake or no, Geneva, Illinois, and they used to do like a photo contest, and I won first place once actually, but not with this picture here. But I took a picture and I put it on their webpage that they have. So let me share it, give you an idea of what I'm talking about when I talk about the pictures that I take. So that's
Holy
a
cow.
so that's a picture of that's a picture of the tree, and I kind of blackened it out so you could see the image that I was seeing. So you got like this, yeah. So
Holy cow.
it's kind of like a teacher or a magician or a puppet master, and then you got this little puppet here, or looks like he's getting ready to be disciplined or something, but he doesn't have a happy face on, and neither does the puppet. So yeah, that's kind of I just take pictures, and then when I review them later, I kind of spot these things and isolate them and call them out and throw them on their webpage or
Wow,
Facebook page.
that's
So
really
something
nice.
cool. Yeah, something cool. Yeah, there was like a cemetery in Alden over here, St. Patrick's Cemetery. I was walking through, and it scared me. I actually jumped because I thought it was an alligator. The bark fell off this tree and it landed in the grass, and it was shaped like an alligator. I swear, and I took this picture down on the ground, and that's the one I won first prize for. And then I got another picture of like a Frankenstein looking monster out in Iowa somewhere. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun to watch that stuff. So that's at the International Forest of Friendship. Now I can hold up a map of that place because it's pretty cool. It's got like every tree from all the nations.
Wow.
Yeah. So each one is different, and there's like statues of Amelia out there, I believe. Let's see, where is it? Thought I had one here. Yeah, there it is. Or there it went. Yeah, so if you're ever in the area and you like that type of stuff, that's something to go into.
Well, I'd like to see that tree, is what I'd like to see.
Yeah.
That would be really, really neat to take a couple pictures of.
So
Oh, that's
this
her
is
again, huh?
yeah, it's out in the International Forest of Friendship.
Was this after she died here?
Oh yeah, that's not her. She's
No, I'm saying was, did they do that statue of her after she died?
oh yeah, as a tribute to her. I think the International Forest of Friendship came in later on. But yeah, it's like all these different trees from all over the place, from Israel, Norway, Monaco, Australia, Spain, which kind of scares me, because what if you have like a male and a female tree that kind of like cross pollinates, is it the term,
Yeah.
and creates this whole funky plant that destroys the world? International Forest of Friendship, my I mean my ash. See what I did
Eats everybody's vegetable garden. So
there, right? So that would be a little tricky. So I'm kind of worried about that. But anyway, it's kind of like the Asian carp. You know, you're familiar with that. You eat a
of
bunch of that,
course,
don't you?
no,
You don't eat that fish.
no,
You throw it on the shoreline.
yeah. I've never caught an Asian, and I've
Oh,
never really. The last time I caught a carp was probably 50 years ago. I uh,
not not good eating for you.
I don't target them,
Oh, that's true. Do you do you fish to eat though, or you just fish for the sport, right?
just for the sport. If I'm fishing to eat, it'll be bluegills and crappies, and
Yeah,
I don't
walleye.
eat. We don't. I don't even eat bass because they're too, you know,
Gotcha.
too many people rape them.
Right.
That's the bad part about it.
Exactly. All right. So then, the cemetery there, Mount Vernon, is kind of cool. If you watch the Ghost Adventures um, episode of Atchison or Sally House, they're walking through the cemetery, and thought I had a video of it. Which one do I want? Is that the one? No, that's not it. What's this? That can't be it. All right, here you go. Kind of give you a nice view.
Holy cow!
Yep. So that's
There's some
kind of back there is where the international forest is by this lake.
there's some pretty fancy tombstones here.
And it's kind of like outside of the city. Nope, that was me coughing or clearing my throat.
Wow! Look at this one.
That little boy. Little Ned Rig. So if you're watching, you can search that, see what Little Ned's all about. 1880 to 1887. So he's only 7 years old. Just turned 7. It looks like September to November. There's a Sally. I don't think that's the Sally from the Sally house, though.
Wow!
Yeah, so just kind of cruise through there.
Got a lot of energy to it, doesn't it? Did
Yep.
you pick that up when you were there?
Um. Yes and no. I mean, I was already hyped up on everything else that was going on. This was
Okay.
kind of like a off thing. Cemeteries are peaceful.
That last name is Harm. Was that last name Harm?
Harvey, Harvey, Harwi,
I thought I saw harm on that last statue.
Yeah, I think it was HARWI or MI. I wasn't
I
focused on
can't. My eyes must be gone.
that. Must be. All right, so far I got my the song Volbeat, Last Day Under the Sun, got the Alice in Wonderland reference, got the Amelia Earhart Deja Vu, got the Spirit
Yeah.
Tree, and just a quick trip to the cemetery. And then now that Dale and Bob arrive, we can go and visit the other places. So we're just here for Sally House. Everything else was by me talking to the owner of the Airbnb, telling them we're ghost hunters. And she goes, "Come on over." So they have the hardware store there, and she invited us over. And I think this is it here. Commercial Street Mall. It's in there, but above the store, there was old buildings or old businesses. And I'm going to share the screen real quick here. And one of them was Dorothy's Beauty Shop. So if you go to your GRS pages and look up Atchison, you
Yeah.
might see Dale's obelisk footage from this. So Dale and I did a little little thing there, a little section, a little investigation, I should say. Bob was over on the other building. So as we're walking through here, oh, that's not this. Nope, that's not it. Okay, so Dorothy's Beauty Shop. So I did some research on the property for the owner. I don't want to click on the next one and give anything away here. So, um, I thought there was another picture here. Is that it? Yeah, this is it. So, well, along with the business, the beauty shop, there was also like a photography place where they did like dark room stuff, which is cool.
Hmm.
Um, me being in the photography liking business. So there was an office, and you would walk through this office, but behind here there was another door to get out, and then there
Yeah.
was a hallway, and there was windows above, kind of like right here, like these type windows. And there was a small
Okay.
hallway, and at the end there was like a bathroom or something, or a closet. And when I went down the hallway into the back room, it was kind of, you know, maybe flooded at one time or rain got in. It was under construction, and they were removing some stuff, but you could see where they did the tubs with the chemicals for the film printing and stuff. And I believe like somebody up here was actually like the inventor of like what do they call it when they do the heart? They have to put that stuff in to check your heart. I think that guy was the first one. The guy that was up here was the first one that started that process. I can't think of it offhand. I I'm not good at medical terms.
Either am I.
Ioprastia or something like that. It's where they put the ink in you or something.
Oh, the blue dye.
Yeah, something like that. So I think this guy was the inventor, or his son was, or something like that. There was a connection to that and this place here. So as I was coming back down this hallway, I noticed those upper windows, and that's when I had my second deja vu experience. And that one was like overwhelming, enough to where I was uncomfortable. And Dale and everyone else started going down the long stairway back to the street. And I'm like, I'm just going to stay up here because I didn't want to leave until I felt comfortable. If I had attachment or if something was going on, I
Right.
wanted to make sure I was comfortable before I went down there. So I asked some questions, wondering why I'm seeing this, blah, blah, blah. So eventually I was able to feel comfortable and walk down there. But the fact that I had two deja vu experiences, which the last time I had deja vu was probably 10 years prior to that. So now I'm
Oh,
getting two in Atchison at two different locations. So could I have been in Atchison in a different life? You gotta. That's where you start asking all these things, wondering why.
right.
Um, so Kelly and Derek, the hardware guys, people that own the property or own this business, let us into those buildings, and then they have a friend Angela who works at the Back Road Atlas, which was near there, but she also had another building across the way that she said was haunted. So we were able to go there. So look, we're not even at the Sally house, and we're already investigating other places with unbeknownst to Dale and Bob. So we go to this other place the next day. It was just Tim, Amanda, and I. Dale and Bob took off, but we were at the back this other place on Commercial Street, and they were taking pictures and they couldn't figure out how to do it. And then I was able to form the camera to say, well, I'm getting this same effect here. This is how I figured it out. So she was like, oh, come on over the next day and investigate. And I do have some pictures of the basement there, which is kind of cool because it's underneath the street, you know?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We got that kind of thing in Antioch.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure, yeah, it's all over, but it's kind of cool that, you know,
When it extends out, like, yep.
yeah. Yeah, so it kind of goes underneath, and then that's kind of like the basement itself, and then here's that other part.
So did they actually build this this town up then?
Yeah, there's probably been different building up of the area, but you could see like this is the side here, so that basement would be under here.
Right. So that could have been an older building.
Yeah, so you can see the windows were removed. So this was the place. So actually, that is backyard atlas, but they moved. They moved from this building over. No, actually, I think that is the building. Now that I no, that is the building. It's got to be. You just can't see the other side, and that's kind of where we entered. But they have an elevator, lift, and going downstairs, and so we stayed there for a little bit. Didn't get too much there for the time that we had, and it was in the morning as we were getting ready to leave. But it was just something else that we were able to see. So something cool. So that was that. Um, so where we at? 8:13 already. Time flies when you're having fun, right, Greg?
You got that right.
So then, as we're talking to them Friday night, they're like, "Oh, do you know these people from the McAteer Villa?" We're like, "No." So they're like, they called them and they were in town. So then they came over and they actually opened the doors for us. And Bob, I remember Bob and Dale are like this. Wait, what? We could actually go in there? What? Just spur of the moment type of thing. So we went in there and they gave us a nice little tour, and we did like a Facebook. Dale did a Facebook Live thing and did a little investigation there. But there was, I guess, a lady that had the home back in the day, and she died of something. She was sitting in like a wicker chair, they said, and her name is Goldie. And I guess when she died in the chairs, she had like cats or dogs or something, and then the pets. Kind of disgusting here, but I guess they were eating off of her. I don't know. That's how my memory remembers the story. So that's Bob, Dale, me. the crazy hair, and then that's the McIntyre Villa.
You look like
And
that one of those captains off of Wicked Tuna.
yeah, I was probably about 20 pounds heavier there too. And then they had this cool little skeleton carriage out there. It was kind of neat. So yeah, there
Now
was part.
this is the villa.
That's the McIntyre Villa. So yeah, it's comes from Irish. So the Irish and the Italians, I believe, did not get along. So McIntyre was making money. So he built his own mansion in this form across town because he couldn't build it by the other people. And there was stories about underground railroad in the basement. I saw the cage down there. We have actually the basement. You can feel some energy down there. There was something going on there. The attic is ginormous. I mean, that's a house of itself up there. I mean, you can watch footage online. Pull up people's investigations there. But even Dale, I believe, probably has footage there. None of the furniture is original. Maybe one piece. They furnished it and it looks great. It looks amazing. Um, but as far as like haunted stuff, they're bringing in old antique stuff from other homes, which, as you know, could probably trigger something. I know there's a doll with real hair in there, so something to consider if you're going out that way. Um, one of the things that I seen there, I don't know why that picture's there. Oh yeah, now I know why. So back to the whole Alice in Wonderland thing. So this was at the McIntyre, this crazy looking clock. So of course I took a picture of it because I had this Alice in Wonderland thing going on,
Yeah.
and then Bright Eyes with the bunnies.
Holy cow.
So I'm asking Angela, I'm like, because she decorated the Airbnb, and I go, "Did you have the inkling of doing like a Alice in Wonderland theme?" And she's like, "No, had no idea." I'm like, "Okay." So
The woman that I was trying to think of was Christy Ayers, and
okay,
she's at McIntyre.
she's
She
at.
does a lot of she does a lot of events there for them
Oh,
and
sweet.
works there quite a bit. You know who she is, right?
Is she the owner?
No,
Well, I know the
she's
owner. I met the owner and her husband.
Christy is really good friends with the owner,
Okay.
and I can't
Yeah, I
think of her
knew.
name.
I met her through one of
Is
the
it
gals that do.
Becky, Brenda, something like that?
I don't know offhand. I would have to go back into my audio to listen to it. But
They have it's a great location.
yeah. So that concludes the outside Sally House stuff.
So now we're
So,
getting into the meat and potatoes.
well, not really. It's more about the Alice in Wonderland than anything else. But it's cool how the adventure turned out and how much more we were able to get just by being there. So, which is kind of
Sure.
cool. So at the next or so during the course of everything that's going on, Dale's telling us that the Travel Channel is going to be at the Sally House and they're going to need to film some stuff there. So we have to leave while they film and then go back when they're done. So the Travel Channel actually um, bought us dinner, and then we got like money off of the Sally House thing, something like
Oh,
that. I forget what it was, but yeah, they treated us to dinner at this local restaurant. And the reason why they were filming is because of this. So we were able to meet this guy. And Bob knew him right away because I guess he's a rapper too. Steve Shippy. So the bindings. Steve travels to Atchison, Kansas to investigate an angry presence terrorizing a brother. So it was like Haunted Heartland was the show.
Oh, I know who that guy is. Yeah.
Yeah, Steve Shippy. So we met him. Let's see what pictures next here.
I think he carries that flashlight, so if he runs into a spurt, he can knock him out.
That one, there you go. So a couple more pictures from that. So that's outside the Sally house. So this is me, Bob, Tim, and Amanda. And then this is some guy from Travel Channel. You got the guy back here with the cameras. You got this guy, and then you got Steve Shippy looking at me saying, "Don't take my picture." He caught me. He caught me taking a picture. Look at this look, dude. Like, woo, look at me. Woo.
He thinks he's scary.
But yeah, this whole block and everything. But anyway, so let's get going on the story here. So that's so yeah, we had I think we got a picture of us eating. Did I show you that one at the restaurant? Via the Travel Channel bill.
You're gonna make me hungry, huh?
Well, I don't think there's food on the table, but that's courtesy of the Travel Channel.
Wow.
And which was kind of, yeah. We all got free dinner, and then they were the other place that they were filming because they didn't do the Sally House episode. They were doing a different episode at the time, and that was at I don't know. There was another house down the street. They said that we can go there. The doors open or something. And when we went there, the lady was gone by that time. So we missed out.
Were those people that were at Sally? Were they there? The
The
couple.
no, the owner was, who has no relation to that.
They were at Haunted Hour a couple years ago.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The guy that gets scratched.
Yeah. Set on fire.
Mm-hmm. Set on fire. Well, I don't think he gets set on fire, does he? I think he just.
He was on the couch and he got set on fire.
Oh, well, there you go. So for us, nothing really happened at the Sally house. I could just say that right away. I mean, it was nothing other than my hands and feet hurting. I'll share some pictures, but one of the things that I discovered was the house is messed up. Um, so let me switch here. Can you see the map?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to switch to satellite and zoom in. So the house is messed up. And I was I'm questioning when you do research and you come up with different addresses and stuff of that nature. So when you walk into the house, I should have brought up the picture first. Let me do that.
Not that big of a house, is it?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So that's the front of the house.
Right.
Little odd, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's me, Tim, and Amanda. So that's the front of the house. And it felt weird to me. And I'll show you what I discovered. And I don't know if anyone else has mentioned this or not. But in my research, let me bring the map up. This is the front of the house. This is the back of the house. But if you could see right here, this
Yeah.
little alleyway, that's where the street used to be. So at one time during history, this was the front of the house. And then they turned
Wow.
Second Street into the street and they changed the address. And now their back of their house became the front of the house. So that used to be the street.
Wow.
Uh huh. Does that causes things to create paranormal stuff? I don't know, but that's
I don't
something
know.
that I learned. So just give you an idea. Here's the Sally house here. Here's that Atchison Street where that I showed the video where the person was supposed to go down into the icy water and die, and there's
Right.
haunted claims about that. And there's the Amelia Earhart house. So from Sally house here to there, and then you got the downtown area commercial street right here. So that's where all those buildings were. And then you had there's the restaurant we stayed at, the Pelosi's. Where did it go? This one here, Pelosi's restaurant. That's where Travel Channel bought us food. And then all the way down here, that's where the Mount Vernon Cemetery is. So you can see how long that is. Got
Wow.
the lake here, little campground here, and then the International Forest of Friendship is here. So that's kind of that in a nutshell. So that's it there. All right. So
Okay.
back to the Sally house. So there was rabbits in there. I don't think I had that stupid picture. I thought I put it in here. Actually, I knew that the Travel Channel was going in there, so I hid a recorder underneath the bed upstairs so I could listen in. Don't tell anybody.
Did anything good?
No, they really didn't go upstairs. They went upstairs for a couple things. I think they were interviewing the owner to add to the stuff later, so it wasn't anything big. I guess they were there the night before doing an investigation. I think that's the bed. Okay, so
It
with
looks a,
the hmm?
looked a lot better than the Valexa X murder house.
I haven't been there. So here's where the story gets kind of it started going to that uh, whole path of me at the beginning with the Alice in Wonderland. So Amanda takes off her hair tie and does her thing with her hair, and she says the weirdest thing. She says, "I hope there's no wasps out here. They get stuck in my hair." And to me, I thought that was just the strangest thing to say. You know, I hope there's no wasps around here. They get stuck in my hair or something of that nature. So that set in me. So my when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, why is that important to me? Why am I hearing that? Why did she even say that? It was just so bizarre. Um, just bizarre beyond belief. I just didn't know what it meant. So as we're going through the Sally House investigation, not really getting anything, to the point where at the end, Bob Davies is singing "Where Eld" songs. Um,
Is this after he was sick?
he had a stroke.
So this was like right right
2019,
before right before COVID.
2019, yeah, July 2019.
Okay.
So this is the dresser upstairs in the Sally house.
You
Not
got it.
yeah, Sally house. Rabbits. So again, with the rabbit and Alice in Wonderland. So at the end of the night, I said, my feet are hurting. I'm going to sit down. And I took what Amanda said and said wasps and hair or something like that. I wasn't even looking for anything. I was looking, I was just looking it because it stuck in me. So as I was researching wasp hair, I came across a story about a wasp in a wig, which was a chapter that was left out of Alice in Wonderland. I'm going to bring it up for you. And this is where, yeah, look it on your face. This is the same look that I have today because I still can't believe what I'm doing here
It was
with
a
this.
chapter left out of the book.
Yeah. So here it is. So this is what happened. So I look it up and I said, oh, the wasp in a wig. It's part of, it says the episode of The Wasp in a Wig was intended to occur between the White Knight's departure from Alice and her entrance into the Eighth Square at the end of Chapter 8. In his biography of his uncle, Stuart Dudson, blah, 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 blah. So they wanted to basically, they wanted to shorten the book, so they removed out 2 chapters. This was one of them. So, of course, time has expired, the copyright is gone, so people are able to use this material again. So this guy actually was able to write a book. I actually got it right here.
Oh, with the original chapters.
Yep. So so how I got this book is crazy because I found this was placed. So the wasp in a wig. Amanda said, "I hope there's no wasp out here because it gets stuck on my hair." So here's this example. So I don't know what's in this chapter because it's not online. So when I get home, I get the next day I go to work. So I have a moment at work to go online and search for the wasp in a wig. I couldn't find anything. I went to Half Price Bookstore. They didn't have any copies of this version of it. And I kept telling myself Savers in Crystal Lake. Got to go to Savers in Crystal Lake. So I go to Savers after I hit Half Price Bookstore. I go in the store. I get beeline for the books. I know where they're at. And I come up to the books, and there's 3 ladies with 4 kids standing in front of the books, reading all these books. And I'm just sitting there I can't even get to the books. The people are blocking me from getting to the books. And then I'm looking on the shelf, and I saw Alice in Wonderland. I saw this book on the shelf, like 2 books away from me. I'm like, but I can't get to it because these people are blocking me. And then
Knock
I
them
saw
over.
one. Hold on. I saw one of the kids going to the books, and I'm like, she's gonna pick it up. This is what me in my head now. I go, she's gonna pick it up. She's gonna take that book, and I'm gonna have to jump over these carts and take her down. So all of a sudden, apparently this telepathy worked because the one lady looked and just kind of moved everybody over, and I just reached in, grabbed the book, bought it, didn't look at it until the next day at work. And then I read the book, and it was all about this old wasp who got his hair cut or whatever, and Alice was worried about him, and she said that he was angry and he was hurting, and the reason why is because he had rheumatoid arthritis.
Oh, man.
So then I thought of my hands. I thought of my hands. So at that moment, I went onto my webpage and I requested for my medical to find a arthritis doctor. And when I got tested, my left hand has RA, my right hand has the other arthritis. But I do have rheumatoid arthritis in the hand that was swollen. And that was these signs given me this, you need to go call a doctor.
God.
All this, from the song to the hands to the Alice in Wonderland. And I was asking people why they were thinking Alice in Wonderland, and nobody knew what I was talking about. I go, there's something with it. And then Amanda's talking about the whole wasp in her hair thing triggered me to find that thing. Just how does that happen where life sends you these little signs that you're able to discover that? It's crazy.
Just as long as you didn't run into the 10 feet tall part.
Exactly. But it's just like so crazy how that just transpired and how I was able to figure out, um, you know,
That's wild.
and to even get the book, like they were blocking me from getting the book.
You know,
So again,
I don't
nothing
know.
happened.
I think I would have jumped in
You would have
like you
jumped
did.
in what?
I would have jumped right over him.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have to.
Yeah. Luckily,
Yeah, luckily. But there is something that at the end we didn't notice, and I don't see it here. I thought I put it in here. There was something at the Sally house when we were leaving that I noticed a crumpled piece of paper under the shelves. And I think we were trying to figure out if it was there before or what. But I got a picture of it somewhere. Yeah. So as we were leaving, I pulled it out and I called Tim back in, and we kind of did a saying or a prayer or a sage before we left. And I left the paper back where I found it. And this is what the paper said: Sally, Satan upside down, and then a little kind of like a Lantiny type of thing. Vaxinomi de Neo Dio Santiago Le Peo, whatever. So that was written on that paper at the Sally house. And I don't know if it's still there or not, but we put it back.
did you find a translation to it?
Yeah, it says, Dean, you have rheumatoid arthritis. No, I'm kidding.
And that's when you jumped out the window.
Yeah, pretty much. Out of the back window or the front window because the house is turned around.
Yeah, I would have jumped in the direction there wasn't any cars.
And there was no cars there.
God, that's crazy. That's absolutely nuts.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, let's see. What else do I got here? I mean, as far as synchronicities and everything, I mean, have you ever dealt with something like that? That whole transpiring of events over the course of a weekend where you thought something, even the deja vu.
Deja vu, I've had that before,
Okay.
where I'd go into a place and I knew I had been there before.
Yeah.
It's happened numerous times.
But anything regarding the
Nothing,
whole.
nothing considering the paranormal, except for Tinker,
Oh, okay.
and I don't know why. And it wasn't. It was the house,
Like
and it was the front porch, and it was that glass part that
the
I had
atrium
seen
type
that
of thing.
before. Yeah, that I had seen it before. I don't think I was there as a child or anything.
Hmm.
I as far as I knew, I was never in Rockford as a kid. But it was something about that, and then the kitchen.
Interesting.
And what was the other one? I've had a couple real crazy ones where We got off an airplane. Uh, they were flying us over to Vietnam, and we landed at Tan Son Nhut. And because I was going to be based in Thailand, we were going to fly from there to Utapao. I got off the airplane and I went into, where the people are all sitting waiting to go up. But over there, it's entirely different because all the seats were around. Everything in the middle was open.
Yeah.
And I
Wow.
can remember walking in and looking, and I saw a kid that I went to grammar school with.
Oh, jeez. Is somebody okay back there? They need water or something?
That's upstairs. Margie's coughing.
She need water? Is she okay? I mean, do we have to? Yeah, clap on the back.
No, she just every once in a while she'll cough.
Okay.
But that one, another part, and most of this happened during my service time. Another one, they were drafting me. At first, I was part of a ASA group, Army Security, which is like the FBI of the Army. I was going to be in that, and then I screwed up and I got a DUI.
Oh.
So they said, well,
did you screw up? Or did you just do
it? Bye-bye.
Is this something you really wanted? Or
did we know anything back then of what we wanted?
No.
And I didn't have a frigging clue. And I walked in.
I'm still trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up.
I had to have a moral waiver signed.
Oh, wow.
Because of the DUI. But they didn't really charge me. The charges were dropped because they sort of beat the crap out of me.
Oh, nice.
And they got caught at it, sort of.
Oh, wow.
The two cops. So it was like drop the charges. So in the meantime.
Like they actually physically beat the hell out of you?
Yeah.
Now, why would they do that? Would you say that? Will you be a smart ass or something? you plead the fifth? You plead the fifth?
No, I just would do things that were just.
You don't have to say it.
No.
You don't have to tell us.
Anyway, I walked in. I had to go into this office where this lieutenant was, and he had to sort of interview me for a minute and then sign this moral waiver.
Yeah.
And I walked into the office, and it was another kid from my grammar school.
Oh, wow.
So now there was a kid there, and then 3 days later, thousands and thousands of miles away, I run into another one.
Wow. What grade school did you go to?
Helper Christians. Our Lady Helper Christians in Chicago.
I wonder if there's a strange connection there. It's interesting.
It was nuts. And I've had other ones besides, but those are two that always stuck out to me.
Yeah. That's cool. I mean, that's you notice these things, and like, again, it tells you a story, it paints a picture, and sometimes you don't know the answer. Sometimes you have to grab here. Maybe I got the answer in here for you. Maybe it's all right here. Maybe the answer is there, and you wouldn't know this. So That's so crazy.
So, I mean, there's a lot of other things that transpired that were just like, somebody said to me the other day, she says, well, what was one of your favorite books? And I said, Slaughterhouse-Five. And it was because of how he looked back at everything.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? And he was a dentist in the office, and all of a sudden, next thing he knew, he had those rubber boots on, and he was in Dresden during the firebombing, and he had this old army coat on, and they your uniforms were gone, and they were POWs, and he would replay it in his head,
Wow.
and it's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Um, but just this one here was kind of. I mean, it just.
That's
I'm glad
amazing.
I got to tell the story, and it still freaks me out. Um, and I wish we had a good experience at Sally's house because it was kind of like the it was kind of like the after. It wasn't really the main event anymore. Everything else was the main event of all the other stuff that we went through. So if you remember the show Ghost Adventures, this is where
Yeah.
Zach was walking up and doing he, you know, the video on the SLS camera die down. So that's Tim up there setting up cameras, but
So
that's
there's
kind
like
of like
three.
his new thing.
There's three bedrooms up there, right?
Yeah,
I
three
heard two.
bedrooms. Yeah. So you
There's
knew
two
something
there.
was yeah, you knew something was wrong because at the bottom of the stairs here was the front door. So it's kind of like why it just seemed weird. I don't know. But anyway. Um so I don't know if anyone knows too much about the Sally house. I guess I could give a little bit here of what I read online. It's a little white house that lies near the Missouri River in Atchison, Kansas. The house, though, is known for everything spooky from apparitions to random fires, like you said, reported by paranormal investigations and random folks, like you and me, it says. The house was built in the 19th century, somewhere between 1867 and 1871, belonged to the Finney family for more than a century. The husband was a doctor, Dr. Charles Finney, and I believe they lived next door as well. Um, he used the front as an office space to examine room for patients. The living space for himself and his wife and baby were upstairs. One day, a mother had came in, rushing in. Her daughter had collapsed. The little girl suffered from abdominal pains. Dr. Finney diagnosed the problem as appendicitis and was worried. So he kind of worried that the appendix would burst. He said that Sally needed surgery, and the mother agreed. However, Dr. Finney began surgery on Sally just before anesthesia fully sedated her. She did not make it through the operation. The little girl died on the operating table, screaming of pain. So, of course, that's how they named this entity Sally. And as you're familiar with the couple that's there, he gets scratched, and I didn't know about the burning. And then the wife kind of, I don't know if she experienced anything. I think she's just, it's all on him.
I thought
Um,
that part. I thought that part was always very, very strange.
yeah.
You
Now
know.
they had, I guess, another owner at one point had a pentagram in the basement. Um, and there's a little crawl space back there that they had some activity in. I do have a few pictures I found, I think, of the basement.
Now Dale had been there years before this, right?
No, he hasn't. He hasn't. That was actually the first time he was there. Thanks for mentioning that. So that's Amanda looking up the basement stairs, and I actually that's the crawl space there. That um, what's his face? Zach dropped his camera,
Right.
heard a hissing sound or something. But I do have a video of Dale. But
Well, he
yeah,
was
no,
going to be.
Dale. He was supposed to be on that
Yeah, that
show.
show.
Oh, crazy! Why did I just? I hope it didn't do nothing here. I keep pressing
Yeah.
buttons and I thought I had a video of him. Yeah, because he was supposed to go there. He hadn't gone back. Sally House. videos. Dale's trigger explain. There we go. I could play another video file here. We got time. Plenty of time. Sally House. Video. Nope, the other one. The other one. Video. This one. Nope. I got a couple of them. Let's try this one first.
Since the 1990s, sightings invited me to come out here
Right.
to do the very first Sally House investigation. Unfortunately, I was just about a week out after surgery, and I asked them, I said, could you please wait until another week, give me 5 days? They couldn't. They ran with the story. I sent my research assistant. He did the show and never had a chance to investigate it until today. So we'll be investigating this.
And what's the date today?
July 27th, 2019. And we're going to be in here pretty much the whole day and evening. So this should prove to be very interesting. Like I said, someplace I've always wanted to go, and I actually got a couple of things I'm going to play for as trigger objects. Peter James, very famous psychic, investigated this place, one of the first psychics that came out here, and he thought that the ghost was kind of, agitated that day. So on the sighting show that he investigated, he's got a little, three statements he makes. He goes, hello. The next one was something like, I can't remember what it was now, I'll tell you the truth. I'll have to play it back, but I'm not afraid of you. So from what people say, people that come here, especially males, tend to be more of an aggressive attitude towards them than females. We only got one female in our group. Everybody else is a male, so we could have everybody being, attacked, if you want to say that. There have been people that have been scratched, but I don't believe all that stuff necessarily. It's never happened to me. I'm not saying it won't happen here. It is kind of an old house, as you can see, and it's going to be a fun night. That's all I can say.
All right, so that's the intro to that, and there's another one here.
What was in that tree?
Just it was just a mark on it, probably where something opened up.
That orange thing in the middle of the tree?
Yeah, just where the tree opened up or something.
I have a little clip here when Peter James, the psychic from Sightings, he's now deceased. He had visited Sally House a couple times, and along that staircase, as we first walk in the door, he came across something that he felt was kind of a little bit negative. And this is what he said at that point. This is an actual clip from the show.
Hello? Easy. I'm not afraid of you.
So I'm hoping that if we play a file from a dead psychic who once visited here and communicated with Sally several times, that we can use that as a trigger.
There you go.
And that's right before Dale got his pants set on fire.
Nope. No, like I said, nothing really came about that. I would, if you go on his webpage, or GRS's webpage, I should say, and you will see any of his, his stories and his evidence and stuff of that nature. But yeah, here, Greg, I guess here's the picture of the tree. Kind of looks like they've sprayed foam in there or something. There could be wax, or maybe that
It's
is
a
the wasp.
mushroom.
Maybe that's the wasp nest, right? Doesn't it look like? Well,
It could be something like that. It's got holes in it.
crazy.
Looks like it looks like an oak too.
Yeah. So when you're out there and you let your hair down, Greg, say, "Man, I hope there's no wasp over here. I don't. They get stuck in my hair."
Oh, mine's never going to be that long. I
Yeah.
like to
So yeah.
feel them when they're running through my hair.
Well, the haircut I had back there, they should have been stuck in there.
Or the lack of a haircut.
Yeah, I needed a haircut.
I just got
Most
my haircut today.
did you? You're an overachiever. You just had
No,
a moment to do it, right?
it was. She called me up and says, "Come on over and get your haircut." So
Well,
okay.
that's pretty nice. Someone calls you for your haircut.
The missus.
Oh, yeah. I go to Sports Clip and they're like, "Oh, sorry, we're closing in 15 minutes and we got one person waiting." I'm like, "Okay, I'll just put this $100 tip back in my pocket. See ya." Want to
Yeah,
play
you
that
gotta.
game? Want to play that game? But I said it with a smile. So it's been a Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland.
It's really amazing. That was very, very interesting.
Yeah. I
Mr.
appreciate you
Johnson.
chiming in or listening to my tale.
Pretty cool.
Finally got to tell the story. It's hard to tell when when you go to these places and you investigate, you get all this footage and you review the evidence and you have the story come about and you're just like, how do you tell this? How do you get this out there? And you can't just pop it on your web page and say, "Oh, here," hoping somebody's going to read it. But at least it's out there, and 20 years from now, somebody might look at it. Say,
And go,
who's this?
wow.
Yeah, who's this? Who's this guy talking about Alice in Wonderland? But if you ever listen to Volbeat, listen to The Last Day Under the Sun. It's a cool little hip number. Still like it to this day. It's never grew old on me. I actually, when I got back, I sent a text message to Tom at Will Rock, and I said, "Here, check out this song." And then, like a couple weeks later, I heard him playing it a lot, and he said this is like his one of the top two songs that he likes a lot. So he fell in love with the tune as well.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool. So yeah. No, I actually missed the place. I remember texting or messaging Kelly back about the Airbnb, saying, "Man, I wish it never left." And they they do go. They want to form like ghost tours to the commercial area. I wish it was closer. I mean, it's what, a 7.5 hour drive,
Yeah.
and
I think it's
be
the
nice
same.
if it was closer.
It's a little farther than for our school
Oh wow, okay. I haven't been out
in
there yet.
Iowa. I
I
thought
need to
you were
get out
there.
more. No, man, I don't get out that much. I
We
need
went.
to.
What did we do? We did for our school, and then we next day we did Valeska.
Yeah, the Valeska murder house just doesn't appeal to me at all. I mean, I don't want to go into a house asking kids that were murdered to speak to me. I get the worst feeling even thinking about that. Even there's a sign out front that says Axe Murderer House. What? It just, to me, it just doesn't seem right. I mean, I'm probably, contradicting myself because I go to these other places, but I don't know. It's just, it's just sad in a sense, and I just don't feel right about it.
That is a very interesting story, though. You know,
Yeah, they
and
fucking
everything that
killed
went
kids with
on,
an axe.
and at the time, uh, I was talking to Dale, and I said that there were like 6 or 7 multiple bludgeonings with an axe across the country
Yeah,
going towards California
yeah,
at the
yeah.
same time.
If you look at the map, and I actually went in the newspapers, the old newspaper archives, and pulled out everything that was related to an axe to kind of say what you're doing is you saw a potential path leading to the killer.
But you would figure that somebody, if they had any sense at all, any moral
Yeah,
sense, if they
yeah.
were
It's like,
getting back at this guy or something, why? They're killing him too, you know?
yeah,
That's,
that's what makes it a true crime story. That's what makes it intriguing. That's what makes it, popular today because it was never solved. It was, and now you got the paranormal aspect in it. So, I mean, as paranormal researchers, what are you going to gain out of there? Other than, oh, I got an EVP saying, ouch, damn it, whatever. I just don't.
are you going back to Ashmore?
I never been to Ashmore. I haven't been there either. I'm telling you, man, I don't go too many places.
We were just at Ashmore for Tim Miley's photographs,
Yeah.
and now Nick is going
I guess
this month.
Saturday I'm doing, I got invited to Cheney Mansion.
Yeah, you're going with us.
Oh, cool. You're going to be there? So I'm going to see you on Saturday?
Yep,
Is
you
that why you
will.
got a hair? Is that why you got a haircut?
This this one right here,
That one. So yeah, no, Saturday night. I guess I'll see you then.
and they're
Oh,
supposed
Greg,
to have
huh?
bunks and everything. They're supposed to have bunks and everything.
Oh, you're gonna sleep? It's an overnight. I thought it was like 7 to 1 or 2 or something like that.
Yeah, I guess
That's not too long,
they said we can stay over.
man. It's in Oak Park, right?
It's where?
Oak Park.
Huh?
Where is it at?
It's way south.
What do you mean way south? Where?
It's
Where the hell
it's
am I going?
it's what, 5.5. It's on the way down to Oblong.
That's not what I found. Where is this at? Seriously, I guess I'm here. Well, let's say goodbye to the folks.
Okay.
Maybe we'll report on. You and I could hook up back on this, and we'll talk about our experiences at Cheney Manor or whatever it's called. Here, let me see. I think I got it here. Cheney Mansion. I found one.
Edwardsville. It's in Edwardsville, right?
I don't know. Well, we'll talk offline. But
Okay.
Paranormal Picker audience, thank you so much for joining in today. Thank you to Greg, the Shadow Hour, Greg Kaz, for helping me out today and covering for Nick. Nick is helping build an addition to his house so he could get some in-laws in there to, make sure that they're okay. And so take care. See you next week, hopefully. And got any last words here, Greg? Or watch the Shadow Hour, dude. You guys got to
Friday
watch
night.
it on Friday. Friday night. This guy over here. The
Chris
man,
Garcia, psychic
boom,
medium.
boom. The man, the myth, the legend over here.
Uh,
All right. Ending broadcast. Stay on, Greg. I'll talk to you in a few seconds here later.
okay.
Paranormal Picker people. Love you. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Oh, hey. Wow. Oh, hey everyone, it's Dean from Paranormal Pickers. Oh, I got the preview for the next episode. Oh, yeah. Here, take a peek. Oh.
This is the Sally House, and this is Bob.
Live long and prosper.
That is why we are here.
To live long and prosper?
I don't know.
Shadow checker, how am I gonna put that? You got a camera in that other room with all the dolls, right?
I have one that's facing inside it, yeah.
You could put the shadow checker in there. In the
Oh,
ground.
I did put a doll in the middle and a balloon,
Okay,
so.
I'll put the shadow tracker, see if anything goes up to that doll,
Okay.
grabs it, then it'll set it off. Shut it off.